Welcome to another episode of the Sunday Punch podcast. We got Monty and Charlie back, ready for action. Ola Coca-Cola to you two. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna talk a lot of NBA. We missed out on. I think the Super Bowl's done. It's like who gives a fuck anymore? It's so in the past. Although we should talk about Stafford. You know, watching someone break their spine in half and then walking away. But we'll get to all of that. We want to talk about the NBA All-Star break. We want to talk about some of the biggest winners and losers coming out of the All-Star break. And then we want to talk about what else did I want to talk about today? What did I put in the notes? I want to talk about DeMar DeRozan. I want to talk about LeBron being the Lakers GM. I want to talk about Giannis staying in. I want to talk a lot of NBA stuff. But before we do, let's play Friday Night as an intro song tonight.
Friday night, I'm thinking that we just might fly away to someplace they don't know who we are. Now I'm riding shotgun in your car. We drive through the city like explorers going 65. Flowing hair flying across your face. We left on Friday, now it's Saturday. Pressed jeans buttoned up, jeans iron slipping up. Red shoes walking slow, headphones blaring 3 stacks. Sunglasses flaring out, thick watch hanging low. Studded belt pulled taut, 3 stacks on the radio. Friday night, I'm thinking that we just might run away to some place. We can be who we are. We can be who we are.
Kodak Black and I'm white. All right, what I want to talk about with you two first is before we get into the All-Star break, which is coming up this weekend, I'm super stoked about. Embiid, I was looking at Embiid's usage rate, and he is on pace for, in NBA history, to have the highest usage rate of any player. And I was looking at a few other people's that had that usage rate, Harden being one of them a few times, Wade in 2008, Jordan, and he lost too in this, Luka 1 year ago. Are you guys worried at all about the usage rate with Joel Embiid? Because Harden, Wade, Jordan, and Luka lost in the first or second round of the playoffs. And with Embiid having that high of a usage rate, all of the other players aren't going to just start suddenly cutting and like playing like the Warriors. You think that brand of basketball is conducive to a nice long NBA championship run? Or is it my fear and they're going to rely on Embiid just the way they were, even though they have Harden, and then lose and get bounced in the second round?
You want me to go or you want to go, Money?
You can go.
First off, I think the usage rate is so high because he had one of his main teammates, the main ball handler for the team last year and the past couple of years, sitting this entire season.
Yeah, great player.
And he's having, we know.
Benjamin Simmons.
And it's been working. I think that he's having a completely dominant season, one of the best seasons I've ever seen. I mean, obviously I wasn't around for Jordan, but LeBron's a bum too. So
wait, you don't think? Let's go to another high usage rate. Number one here is Russell Westbrook. Before Embiid is going to take that crown, when Russell was averaging a triple double, you didn't think that was the best season you'd ever seen?
I don't know. I mean,
to me, that was the best season I had ever seen. He averaged a triple double, and I think it was 30 points as well.
Yeah, he
was doing everything.
Was crazy.
And like I know people nowadays get so many triple doubles, but he was making it look so easy. When before, like, people would only get like 1 or 2 a year. He would make it look easy.
Right. So, okay. But Embiid has a high usage rate, right? It's the best season you've ever seen.
I didn't say that. I said it's one of the best seasons I've seen.
Okay.
And, I think it is. I think he's having a great year. I mean, you were talking yesterday about this run that DeRozan's on. DeRozan should be the MVP. I totally agree. I think he should be in MVP conversation, but Embiid's been doing that for like 3 months.
Right.
He's been doing what DeRozan's been doing for a while. And he did it a lot last year too. But usage rate, I think having Harden, obviously that usage rate, I don't think they're going to be he's obviously going to be their primary focus. If one of the two is going to have to take the back seat, it's going to be Harden. I think he understands that. I think Harden's going to play more of a distributing role, but Monty's also said, I agree with them. They're going to give Harden, he's going to be able to chuck it up 25 times a game. But I think they're going to stagger it too. I think Harden would make the second unit a lot better because he's obviously a great creator and he's a great isolation player. I think together they'll be able to work fine, but I think they're going to stagger them. I mean, I think that's the best way to win is to stagger Harden and Embiid. But
my point being that Harden and Embiid now are going to have high usage rates. The other players aren't going to start randomly cutting to the basket like they're the Warriors. They're going to be pretty much standing around watching those two. I worry that that's not a championship level caliber brand of basketball. That's my point.
What makes you think that they're going to be standing around watching those two?
Well, James Harden has always been an ISO guy. Embiid has the highest usage rate of all time. He's on pace for it. So that leads to people just kind of giving it down to him and letting him create.
Well,
and in the past, Golden State, everyone around Steph is cutting. It's the Steve Kerr brand of basketball. LeBron on many of his teams, everyone that won the championship. Everyone's cutting and doing their own thing and like really trying to get the ball and knowing their role. I just think it might, even though I love Harden, even though I love Embiid, even though I really like the 76ers chance to come out of the East now, I just think it worries me. And I wanted to get the 76ers angle. I wanted to get the 76ers point of view because I think that when a Kobe was another one with a very high usage rate is when you start just watching the main guy or the main two guys. Sure, it's fun. Sure, it works in the regular season. Does it get you to the championship? And then does it make you beat a West team? I just wanted to see if you guys were worried about that at all.
I'm not worried. And going back on his usage rate, like Charlie said, it's high because we don't have a point guard, and I don't mind that it's high right now because we don't have anyone else on our team. Like, I know we have Tobias Harris, but rather have Embiid shooting rather than Danny Green, Tobias, and a bunch of other bums that we have. But no, James Harden, he is going to help that. But I think the one outlier to all of this, when you were talking about, teams like the Warriors or previous teams like cutting and just standing around, is that no one had like a big man. No one really had a big man number 5. Like maybe the Spurs were the last one to have like a dominant with Tim Duncan. And back then, and even then he would post up and he would draw doubles and then they would have cutters on the wings and he would dish out, or if he's on one-on-one, he's going to take him every single time. So I think, the new age of basketball is constant movement and moving around and cutting, but that has also phased out the traditional 5. But I think the Sixers are the one outlier that we have that big man that can draw the doubles, can then dish out, and then even pick and roll. I think with him and Harden it's going to be deadly. It's like if you're going to go under James Harden and try to help with Embiid, he's just going to shoot. Or if you try to hedge with James Harden, Embiid's just going to roll and he's going to have a mismatch. So I think just having Embiid, we haven't really seen that in like the last 10, 15 years. So I think that's why I'm fine with his usage rate being so high, and then also bringing in Harden. I think it's going to bring it down, but it's going to help us.
His passing's gotten a lot better too, which is a big improvement for Embiid. His first, I don't know how many years in the league, he couldn't properly read a double team that was coming. He would try to dribble out of it, or I don't know. He wouldn't properly find the open man, and that's something that has made him and the Sixers a lot better. And I think that's something that Doc Rivers or Cassell has really helped him improve upon, because that's really taken a leap since last year when they joined the organization. But I agree with what Monty said, and specifically, and I stand by this. There are two players in the NBA that no one person can guard one-on-one. That's Embiid and Giannis. You can put KD up there, but KD doesn't have that power and that dominance around the basket, that Shaq-like dominance that they have, that forces teams to, you have to double them. Embiid there hasn't been a single big man this year that could stop Embiid. And the only way they can really do that is by trying to slow him down by just continuously throwing new, fresh bodies at them. So I don't think that that's going to be that big of an issue, because they're going to have to pick their poison. Embiid's either going to dominate one-on-one, or Harden's going to be able to distribute, like Monty said, that you can either pick your poison, go under the screen, or you go over it. And Harden's that good that he's going to be able to find the right player. He's going to be able to get the ball to Joe. He's going to make life easier for him. So I'm really excited to see how that works out. I think it's going to be a pretty interesting dynamic that this league hasn't seen in a while, with that dominant big man and that extremely skilled guard.
Speaking of dominant big men, last night AD goes out again, of course, and then your boy, Monty, the love of your life, Rudy Gobert, does nothing. So now, are you willing to put Vucevic ahead of Rudy Gobert?
No, what
did you watch the game last night? Oh, I don't know. Last night he scored about 20 points.
Against who? The Kings?
Sacramento Kings.
The Sacramento Kings.
They have Sabonis now, sir.
Yeah, the defensive Sabonis. He's been known as
all I'm saying is, well, first of all, Charlie's on my side because he had Gobert ranked number 10 on his list. Are you willing to at least say Vucevic is a top 6 center now?
No, I had him at 8.
Outrageous.
No, it was like
so AD goes out last night. Gobert can do nothing after that, and you still have him ranked again above Vucevic.
Because I'm looking at his whole career in his last couple of years, what he's done. This man Vucevic hasn't done anything. He didn't do anything with the Magic. He didn't do anything. He hasn't done really anything with the Bulls.
He scored the ball.
I'll make the argument that I think if you replace Rudy Gobert with Vucevic on the Jazz, I think the Jazz make the finals one of these past couple of years when the Warriors have been down.
Then they would be able to score a lot, but they wouldn't be able to get one single stop on defense.
Yeah, but Gobert has been exposed in the playoffs anyways defensively, like he was against the Clippers. So at least you have a center that can score. Rudy can't. Rudy has no offensive game.
Vucevic, he would get picked apart. We haven't seen the Magic in the playoffs, so you haven't seen Vucevic play playoff basketball. But the reason the Bulls are going to lose, is because of Vucevic. And
I agree.
It's going to come to a point.
Disagree.
It's going to come to a point where Donovan's going to be like, shoot, should I have him on the bench in the last couple of minutes when we need a stop? And if he plays them, that's how the Bulls are going to lose.
The 20 points a game makes up for that.
No, it's empty points because he can't get a stop on the other end. So it's
which gets
you're going to give up 30.
What's the argument of the night?
Defense is important at all in the NBA.
I don't think defense is very important, at least for superstars. My point is, let the role players play the defense, the superstars play the offense, and you can if everyone knows their role, then you will make the NBA championship. You can't have everyone trying their hardest on every end of the court.
Well, that's what the playoffs is. It's like
James Harden doesn't play his defense in the playoffs either. So you guys should be prepared for that.
James Harden, there's very few. I think he might be the only player who just isn't tuned in on defense. But everyone else in the league when it comes to the playoffs is trying their hardest.
Should we get into it, Adam?
Well, yeah. Well, it's kind of like a different argument, I think, because this all started. So last night, me and Charlie were watching the Lakers game, and we were talking about the Orlando Magic, as you do while you're watching the Lakers game. And we were talking about, I really like the Magic's core players. Let's talk about that first. Let's talk. Oh, okay. Let's get into this, dude, because I think the Magic. Let's really keep the listeners engaged here on Spotify, because nothing keeps people engaged more than the Orlando Magic.
Aren't they the worst team in the league?
They are the worst team in the league, but I do like
core.
I like the core of Cole Anthony, Wagner, and then who else did I say last night?
Suggs.
Oh yeah, Suggs. Untouchables. You get your draft pick, and then I think that they can, if they get one more piece, I think it's a solid team.
But what is that one more piece? That might be a big
Well, that's another thing I have to say is, why isn't Orlando a free agent destination?
Because they suck.
Because
they suck.
Orlando's not a big market,
but it's a great place to live.
It is, right? But Miami is like 2-3 hours away. You're in the same state as there. I mean, if I was in Florida, I'd much rather
in Miami.
Pick Miami.
All I'm saying is, if that core is there, you get one more piece in the draft, and you can get a free agent. Look, Orlando has been a free agent destination for people. Look, they got Turkoglu, right? They got Rashard Lewis.
Shaq left.
Look. You like to think that's funny, but at the time, that was a huge signing.
No, Rashard Lewis was a big signing from the Supersonics, but Shaq also left.
Right.
And said,
I'm going to LA. One of the biggest mistakes of his career. But all I'm saying is,
what do you mean one of the biggest mistakes? He won a ring.
Oh, shut up. As a backup on the Lakers, no one cares, dude. He went to the Lakers. Kobe called him soft, and from then his reputation. We're getting off topic.
Okay, so this is where the big debate that I'm very curious to hear what your opinion is, because I think you'll agree with me, Monty. But when we were talking about the Magic last night, we came about talking about Jalen Suggs, Gonzaga guy.
Yeah. One thing, why don't you like their core?
Me?
Yeah, why don't you like Wagner, who, in my opinion, is the rookie of the year? Then you have Cole Anthony, and now you have Suggs.
Do I like them to be like a future potential 4 or 5 seed for like the next 5 years?
With that core, but if they could pull in a big free agent, do you think they could have a good core and potentially make a run?
No, they're always going to be their peak is like a 4 seed. And then that's just getting bounced in the second round.
I disagree. If they could get one big free agent signing. Anyway, go ahead, Charlie.
I slightly agree with Adam. I think they're very young. I think the 3 players he listed could be good. I think it'll be a while though. So, and I think that's what Monty's getting at. Is it's gonna
I think it'll be a while. I think I'm not saying the Magic are win the championship next year. I like the Magic's core.
Even when we get to that down the road, they're not gonna make any noise. I'm not scared of them. I'm not gonna be scared of a Cole Anthony, Jalen Suggs, Wagner, trio. I'm not fazed by that. There's none of them. They're good. Don't get me wrong, but they're not. They're not arguable. Good. They're not all-stars. I don't think they're all-stars. No, I don't think they're
all of them are. I mean, they're very young.
No, I think maybe their potential. I don't even think their potential could reach an all-star.
Okay.
Think about it. Jaylen Brown is not even an all-star now, and I know down the line those players aren't going to be as good as Jaylen Brown is right now. So it's hard to be an all-star.
Okay, I disagree. But anyway, go ahead, Charlie, because then I want to get to our main argument.
Yeah, so that got us on the topic of Jalen Suggs, Gonzaga guy.
Mm-hmm.
Big fan. And somewhere down the road, Adam said essentially Jalen Suggs wants to make it in the NBA, wants to make a good living, make a good cash in, what'd you say? He said somewhere between.
If you want to get your payday, then
he needs to purely focus on putting all of his energy into the offensive end of the game. He said that Jalen Suggs is better because I said that I think Jalen Suggs is a great defender. I think he has a very high upside defensively and offensively, but he thinks that he's a better offensive player, and therefore, since he's clearly not a like superstar, like top 0.0001%, he should focus all of his energy into developing his offensive game. People will recognize that he's a good offensive player and get paid for that role. Whereas I think players like him who have that high upside on both offense and defense I don't understand why there's a knock on putting high energy into both ends of the court, because that wins you games, that brings recognition to your team, and you're obviously improving as a player. And that's what makes you money in the NBA. I mean, winning. Go ahead.
My point is, makes you money in the NBA. What makes you money in the NBA? Scoring points and being a specialist, right? If Jalen Suggs is not going to be the Joel Embiids of the world who can do both, or the LeBron James of the world that can do both, right? Then those players, and I related this to James Harden, have to focus on just one thing if they want to get paid a lot of money. And so James Harden chose offense, right? And he became unstoppable in offense, never played defense, but he got a bag because of it. And so my point was to Charlie, if Jalen Suggs tries his hardest on both sides of the court, if he's scoring 16 a game and you'd have to watch the tape for the defense, right? Versus if he's scoring 25, 24 in that range a game, he's going to get a bag for that instead of being, oh, you see the Magic? They're really a try-hard team, and that Jalen Suggs at 17 points a game and 2 steals. My point is, focus on what's going to get you the money. Don't focus on you're not a superstar, so therefore don't try and do both. And focus all of your energy, like everyone else does, on getting a niche. And this isn't just in the NBA. This is anyone in any job. If you focus on a specialty, you get paid more in the long run.
To which I debated back, that in the NBA, I mean, this is like a top 1%. Like, these people are very, very elite at what they do. It's very possible for him to hit that 20, 25 scoring mark and be an elite scorer and still put the same amount of energy into the defensive end. He thinks that it's impossible for you to put that much energy into both ends of both parts of the game. And it's like, these guys. I guess
the main argument is, what shelf do you think Jalen Suggs is going to be on, right? So if you project him out on a shelf of, this guy can score 25 points a game and play great defense, to your point, Paul George, then if you think Jalen Suggs is going to be Paul George, then I would recommend that to him. If you don't, then I would recommend the James Harden route.
I think for Suggs in this example, I remember coming out of the draft, they talked a lot about his defense because he's super athletic. He's a good on-ball defender. So I think him in particular, I understand what you're saying, and anyone else, I just think that if you have the potential to have really good defense and you're already noted as like gifted athletically and can play good defense, then focus on both. But if defense isn't one of your strong suits and you're at that point, then I would say pursue just offense. Like, look at what Jordan Clarkson did. I remember the Lakers drafted him, and he was in the second round, was really good at offense, a little so-so on defense. So he said, you know what, I'm just going to focus on offense. Then he goes to Cleveland and goes to Utah and becomes Sixth Man of the Year just focusing on offense. But so that's a great example of someone just spending their time and focusing on offense. But I think with Suggs, he already has that like defensive capability, and he's shown it. So I think anyone else, I would say focus on offense. But with Suggs, I think he can get you. I don't think he can get you 25. That's a lot. It depends on what team he's on. I don't think like he's good, but he's not going to be like a super sharp point guard who's like a number one option. Like
Right.
he's always like for young point guards, he's always going to be below like Darius Garland and that type. Like Garland can get you like 26, 28. Suggs, I think his career might like 22, but that's a lot. But I think he'll hover around if he's the 2 or 3 option. We'll hover around like 16, 17, 18. But I like Suggs on defense, so I would want him to focus on both. But I'm with you and Adam that if you're not good defensively, and I think a lot of NBA players aren't really good at defense because they don't really try and they don't really care. I would focus on offense, just like you said. Like that's how you get paid. But if you already have like defensive potential and you're already good at defense, like then you just focus on that. Like if you look at Matisse Thybulle, he can't play offense for his life, but he was good at defense. And coming out of college, they knew he was good at defense. So now he just focuses on that.
Right. No, and if Suggs, my point to Charlie was if Suggs is better at defense, then he should probably just start focusing on that then. Like
but I
you
think
need
it's
to
too
get in
early.
your niche unless you're a superstar.
But I think he has the potential to be a really like solid offensive player who can get you 20 points a game. That might be down the line. So I don't think they want to jump ship yet and be like, oh, just focus on defense. What maybe if also I think he's also on the Magic, so he has time to grow. So maybe they're like, let's develop your offense. If he got drafted by a playoff a team in the playoffs, they would for sure have him focusing on defense and saying, all right, lock this point guard up. Don't worry about like creating offense, just go play defense. But I think his situation in Orlando, they don't have anything to lose, so might as well just let him to continue to develop. And maybe in like year 3 or 4, his offense really isn't there. Maybe it's then like, all right, if I'm trying to go get my next contract, I should focus more on defense. But I think you should give him more time. He's only in his 2nd year, and
yeah, I guess who would you be your Suggs? Let's spend more time on the Magic. Who would be your Suggs comp?
Oh, I don't even know. Charlie, do you have one?
All right, well, think about it. Actually, how about that?
Yeah,
you got one?
I do. Drew Holiday.
Then he should focus on defense.
That's a fair comp.
When you think Drew Holiday, what do you think?
I think he's
defensive-minded,
excellent defender, but he can also get buckets. That's why he starts. That's why he has a ring.
Well, he has a ring because Kevin Durant's giant alien toe was on the line. But anyways, moving on. Another thing I want to talk about, though, is with all this movement that's happened and James Harden, we're never going to get to All-Star Weekend. But I think this is an important point. With all this movement, I was thinking about James Harden being able to do this, Ben Simmons being able to do what he did, which is basically pout and get out of a contract. Is all of this movement good for the NBA? Because I was really getting nostalgic when I was thinking back to like Jordan. And Jordan was with the Bulls, right? And his thing was he had to go against the Pistons. And every year you knew that story was coming. Nowadays, it's like every year it's like who's who, who's going where, who's pouting, who's getting on another team. There's no, like WWE storylines happening anymore. And it's just like, oh, Kevin Durant went to the Nets. Oh, James Harden pouted his way out of his 2nd team in 11 months, and now he's on the 76ers. Ben Simmons was sad that Doc Rivers said something about him. Now he's on the fucking net. Is this good for the NBA? Are you more excited about the NBA now, or does some power need to go back to the ownership?
I mean, I think you could argue both ways. I think the constant changing it's an interesting dynamic. There's the drama levels of the NBA. I think that brings in a lot of money. Is this the drama that it's creating? But I do think that the players are the stuff that like Harden. I mean, from a business standpoint, it's like it's a cop out. It's soft. Like if you don't see yourself there in 3 or 4 years, then don't sign the contract type of thing. But I mean, but when you're getting 100 million waved in your face, it's like you're gonna jump at that instantly. But I don't know.
Back in the day, you could money whip the players. You could, like Chris Webber when he was on Sacramento. Nobody else could pay him the amount that Sacramento could pay him, right? And so then they would say, "Hey, look, you can fly to LA in 30 minutes, blah blah blah. Nobody else can pay you over the luxury tax like we can because you're a Sacramento King." Now it's not kind of the same thing, but I don't know. I guess it's replacing one drama for the other drama where it's like, oh, Jordan's got to get over this Detroit Pistons hump, and that's the drama. And now the drama is, will James Harden stay with the 76ers for more than 10 months? So it's like, I guess what drama do you prefer?
Yeah, I mean, I'm all for power for the players because, I mean, they're the ones putting the product like on the court. But I think we're done with the era of like Kobe, Duncan, Nowitzki, like all staying with one team.
Because I would say Giannis is the outlier of all.
No,
of this.
he's gonna go through this contract and then he's gonna go to LA, New York, Miami. Or
you think
else.
so, Charlie? You think?
Like I just think that's the nature of the game, like where it's headed to. I think like you said, like Jordan was like, oh, how can we beat the Pistons? And even like LeBron was like, how would LeBron beat the Pistons? And then the whole Celtics, and then that formed. So then I think that sort of changed the game when the Celtics made their big three to take down the Cavs, and that sort of shifted away everything. And then once all the greats retired, now everyone is looking to jump ship. And I personally don't like that, but I think it brings headlines. And I know the NBA tried, like they have incentives to try to for teams to keep their players. Like I know for max deals, if you're already on the team, you can offer a 5th year compared to if they sign to a new team, it's only 4-year, and the amount of money they give. But as you can see, like players don't really care about that. They'll still want out and demand a trade. And I think it's pretty soft on their end. It's like, oh, when the going gets rough, let me just jump ship and go where else.
Right.
And sort of run away from the grind. But I mean, I feel like they've gotten so much power the last like 10, 15 years. They can do whatever they want. And I don't know how ownership would take like the power back. But I mean, I would rather have them stay on their team, but I do like how it brings headlines and there's constant back and forth and changing compared to other leagues where not much happens.
Charles?
I'll get to that one sec. Are you watching the Sixers game right now, Money?
Yeah, I am. The Sixers are up by what, 7 now?
He scored 45 in the second quarter.
Maxey just had 14 in the second.
Wow. I knew we were down.
We were just down.
Yeah.
We were down literally like 10 minutes ago. We were down 41-51. We're up 69-61 at the half.
Wow.
Yeah, they're doing well.
Embiid's
and Coach Bud still looks like he just escaped Margaritaville. Wasting away again in Milwaukee. No, what I'm saying is, though, Giannis, speaking of, let's tie it back in. I think Giannis is going to stay in Milwaukee, and that's what's so cool about Giannis. And don't you think there's an added brand benefit to Giannis staying in Milwaukee versus all these other players switching? Because really, how can the town relate to some of these guys? You know, like when you think of KD, do you think of anything? Like Giannis, you're like Milwaukee Buck. You don't think KD and think anything other than
Charmin soft. That's what I think of.
Right. Even to be honest, even LeBron. Do you think Cavalier when you think LeBron?
Yeah, I think of the Cavs.
You do? It's kind of muddled for me now. James Harden's gonna have I think there's something to be said to having the city behind you for like 7 years.
I agree.
Yeah.
I mean, you said the one player that you said Giannis is that one player.
Well, yeah, you got Giannis, and I think that Luka is another outlier.
You're forgetting the number one. That's Steph Curry.
There you go. Yes, exactly. And Steph Curry, to me, brand-wise, is eons ahead of them because he was the man in Golden State.
And he did.
And by the way, you said, how can ownership switch the power? How about just making your place the dopest place ever?
It's hard to
Like
compete.
Golden State's away locker room has hot tubs and has seriously, has like a massage therapist, because you know what? To Golden State, it's not that's not the visiting team. Those are potential free agents.
That's a fair point.
The Orlando Magic don't have that, and it's crazy to me. Like, the Orlando Magic, not to get back on the Magic again, but like, it should be a free agent destination. Why don't you just make Orlando dope to be in? Why don't you go to
They
Cole
don't have the
Anthony?
money. Like
Why don't
Golden
you go
State
to?
does.
Oh, they got money, dude. They got money. If like, why not just go to these players and be like, what is it gonna take to make you happy? We are the small market team, and that's what Milwaukee did for Giannis. So that's what you could do as one of these small market teams, so people aren't jumping ship.
Yeah, I mean,
But instead, they're going to try and do it in like the player negotiations and everything else, and try and make it harder because we're going to pay you so much more money. Why don't you just make your place so cool that no one wants to leave?
it's really hard to make Orlando so cool, though.
Have you been to Orlando?
Hey, you're biased. You're from Florida.
Orlando's a good time. Do you live on a golf course? You fucking fly to Miami whenever you want.
But why
Like,
not
I mean,
live in Miami then?
But let's think about it from an NBA player's perspective. Like, you're not really in the city. You don't really live there, right? So what does it matter? I mean, the only reason that New York and LA aren't consistently like good is because their ownership is so horrendous that New York, you're like, why can't the Knicks be good? Because James Dolan is such a horrendous owner. But the market makes up for it. What I'm saying is, like, Milwaukee is the blueprint. And so if you want to keep your guy, right, become like Milwaukee and do everything humanly possible. They talk to Giannis. They give him whatever he wants. They're involving him in decision making. And so it's like, that's the way to keep the guy.
Yeah, well, the big factor is you got to get that guy in the first place. You got to draft him. You got to be able to draft him.
Right, and that's the problem. And that's the problem with like Atlanta, because Atlanta should be a city that is like number one free agent destination for these guys.
They're becoming that, though. I think that Atlanta. I mean, I think Trae Young is
right. Is he that guy though?
I mean, he's not a Luka. He's not a Steph. He's not a Giannis.
Right.
But they're following that blueprint that you're saying. They're doing
well,
the best
Dallas,
they can.
Dallas did that blueprint too, and that's why they have a guy like Luka.
That's why they got Dinwiddie now.
Exactly. And their locker room's dope, and they'll do anything for Luka and everything else. Dallas is not actually a great destination for free agents, but they've made it that way with how they treated Dirk and now with Luka.
Well, Dallas is the worst sports city in the country, so we know that.
I do think so. Giannis, I think he's gonna like leave. I know he's under contract for like a couple more years. I think he's gonna leave because
Charlie, do you think Giannis is gonna leave Milwaukee?
Well, can I walk through what my reasoning behind it is?
No, I need to interrupt you. No, I'm just joking.
Adam likes interrupting.
So Giannis wants to win every year. He wants to be in the conversation of an all-time great. He already has 2 MVPs, and by the time his career ends, he could get 3, 4, 5. And he already has a chip now, and I probably wants to win more. So when he gets later on in his contract, so their core is him, Chris Middleton, Drew Holiday. Chris Middleton and Drew Holiday will get up there in age. So who is Giannis going to be there by himself? And if it's not like they can flip Middleton and Drew Holiday and get someone else, because no one's going to trade for like an older Middleton or Holiday, and then it's going to be like, well, no one's going to want to come to Milwaukee. It was like when LeBron tried to recruit Melo like back in like 2010 to come to the Cavs. Melo was like, I don't even leave my hotel room when I go to Cleveland. How am I supposed to live there? So I feel like the same as in Milwaukee. Like, ain't nothing to do in Milwaukee. No one's going to want to go and play there. So I know Giannis is going to stay there for the next couple of years, but I think when his next contract comes, it would make sense basketball-wise to go somewhere else if he's going to have like an aging Chris Middleton, an aging Drew Holiday. He's going to need another superstar player.
My combat to that would be Giannis will say, dude, wait till you get here and wait till you see what management does for you. You
That's fair.
LA, right? It's like if someone's in LA or New York or one of these with one of the insane owners, they're like, dude, you've been in an abusive, like, I think Giannis will say, dude, wait till you get here. Whereas Cleveland is the outlier because Cleveland still has terrible ownership. So it's not like LeBron was saying, dude, wait till you get here, because he was like, no, Dan Gilbert sucks. And so therefore it's Cleveland and terrible ownership. Whereas Giannis is like, look, you might not like Milwaukee, doesn't matter. You have a private plane anywhere you want to go. These guys will do anything for you.
Well, let's not forget that Giannis, he waited to sign a Supermax, because had they lost last year and they hadn't won the championship, he would have left.
Yep.
And so he's already thought about leaving. He was eligible to sign the Supermax a year before, and he waited to sign it. And then after they won, and even Milwaukee was like sort of freaking out, oh, he still might leave. So he's definitely thought about it. And as you said, he was a Kevin Durant toenail away from heading out of Milwaukee. So, I mean, I wouldn't put it past him leaving Milwaukee.
You really think he would have left if they didn't?
100%. He was like, Milwaukee hadn't really done anything throughout his time. Like, they would get to the playoffs, but they'd always find a way to lose. And I know they swung that trade to get Drew Holiday. And there was also, they had traded for Bogdanovich, and that trade got declined. And apparently Giannis was really mad about that. He was like, no one wants to come to Milwaukee. Nothing's like going for us. And then they got Holiday and they won the chip, and it worked out all well. But had they lost last year, he would have left.
Okay. That was a bad point. Never mind. But do you guys agree with my point that like the Atlantas, the Houstons of the world should make their shit so dope? Like, there's no reason the Atlantas and Houstons of the world should not be an attractive place for an NBA player to go.
No, I agree with that. There'll always be like behind like the LA, Miami, New York, but I think there should be a 1A and a 1B, and the Houston, Atlanta, and the other big cities should be right behind them.
Like, Utah should have a giant hot tub full of prostitutes every time you go in at halftime.
They're Mormon.
If you're Utah, and that's why they're having the problems with Donovan Mitchell now. That I'm convinced. All right, let's what are we? 42 minutes in. Let's get to the NBA All-Star break. By the way, will you finally admit DeMar DeRozan's good at basketball?
What do you mean? I've never said he wasn't good.
Hey, you didn't like him. You didn't. You weren't caring for him. Now he's done something that not even Wilt Chamberlain did. So, okay, let's get to the NBA All-Star Weekend in our 42-minute mark. We start off with the celebrity game, which is always a fun time to me. Do you think anything surprising will happen in this celebrity game? And I want to bring us through some history here, because the Secretary of Education a few years ago straight up dominated the competition, and we're just gonna watch like a minute and a half of his highlights right now.
U.S. Secretary of Education on the East team, number 80, Arnie Duncan.
Dan Barrett from the baseline. Duncan with the rebound.
Oh, nice pump fake.
Lefty, he's all business. Had a chance to speak with him before the game tonight. Said he played a couple of times last week leading up to this one with the president. And Duncan with a steal. Boy, Arnie Duncan really filling up the stat sheet. Nice pass to little Romeo. And Romeo styled it a little bit with the hand behind the head.
He went Carmelo.
Oh! Arnie was obviously robbed a couple of years ago. And boy, he's trying to get it back this year. Little strong. Duncan again and one. Arnie Duncan filling his hat right now. He's got 9 points. Wow.
Great look there again. Arnie Duncan, just the maestro out here. He's
Dropping dimes.
Oscar Robertson, he's LeBron James.
He's Duncan inside, and we're tied at 40. Duncan calling for the foul.
Yeah, he wanted the foul. Great finish.
Duncan fires it. Arnie Duncan doing it. Oh, what a
my
time!
goodness, this
Oh!
Are you kidding me? Arnie, Oscar, Duncan.
Wow.
Oh, my, what a look.
Oh, look at his pass.
What a dime. Oh, wow. Very well done, Arnie. Very well done.
Can't take this one. I have to be a humble loser. Artie Duncan, man, I gotta respectfully give you the MVP trophy. Artie Duncan, phenomenal player. I'm going down as a loser this year.
2 years ago, Arnie, you and Kevin were co-MVPs, 20 points, bunch of rebounds, 7 assists, 11 boards. What was it like out there for you tonight? What was the key for your
20 points,
That pass,
7 assists, and 11 boards for the Secretary of Education.
He's thinking about running for mayor in Chicago. That's where I saw his
okay.
name recently. But
Dude, how about that pass? The behind the
and that's from all his practice.
Or will we have some sort of awkward political statement like we did with Sage Steele?
Congratulations.
Thank you. I just want to say, as an election year in the U.S. has a lot they can learn from Canada. Healthcare, taking care of people. And I think
So we're talking about celebrity stuff, not politics. Congratulations on your MVP. And Team Canada.
Well, we're talking about NBA stuff, not politics. But so anyway,
I was gonna say she went to the Michelle Tafoya School of Journalism.
She's like, I cut that off real quick. Do you foresee any surprises? Because I've got a couple listed off here. If you want me to go through them.
Any notable players?
Do you have Do you have any surprises that you see happening? Because I've got a couple. If you just want to react to them.
Oh no, yeah, you can go through.
Okay, I got the WNBA Hamby just punishing Jack Harlow on the block. I got Myles Garrett sending Machine Gun Kelly to the hospital.
Myles Garrett's playing in it?
Yeah.
He's going to win MVP. Have you seen him play basketball, man? He's crazy athletic.
Yeah, Machine Gun Kelly goes in to take a charge. Myles Garrett just sends him to the hospital. Justin Bibb, Cleveland's mayor, tears his ACL. Headline next day. Or Nyjah Houston declares his love for our boss's daughter, Katery Dion. Nyjah Houston dated our boss's daughter, by the way. Skateboarder, Olympic skateboarder, really, really popular guy. That would be the most shocking thing to me if we were watching and he just declared his love for her on national television. Yeah, Myles Garrett. I mean, you think he's gonna be MVP? You gonna put some money on Myles Garrett for celebrity MVP?
I don't think anyone's gonna stop him. He's gonna hit a couple people on the head and throw some dunks down and go way too hard. That's how football players play basketball. They just go way too hard and don't know how to stop.
Yeah, no, I enjoy watching it. And then we have the Rising Stars Challenge, which I love, absolutely love the format this year. Monty, are you familiar with the format this year?
Is it the sophomores, the freshmen versus the rookies versus sophomores?
It's usually what it is, but now it's 28 players.
Oh,
12
yeah. Okay.
12 rookies, 12 sophomores, 4 members of the G League team, split into 4 7-person teams for a 3-game tournament.
Oh. I mean, that'll be good. Yeah, because it was sort of getting a little dead when they would just do rookies or sophomores. So this will be interesting.
So we got coaches Isaiah Thomas, James Worthy, Rick Barry, and Gary Payton.
Okay.
And then we got the 3 G League players are projected first-round picks in the 2022 draft. You got your boy Jaden Hardy, your boy Dyson Daniels, and your boy Marjon Beauchamp, which are the best names ever. Plus, another best name ever, Scoot Henderson, who was a junior in high school last year, and he signed a $1 million contract to go to the G League after his junior year of high school. He's averaging 14, 5, and 4 in 24 minutes a game in the G League, and he's on LaMelo Ball's team. So if you're a true degenerate, I would say bet the house on LaMelo Ball and Scoot Henderson.
Nah, you got to bet on the team with Maxey and Jalen Suggs.
Yeah, here we go. Back to Jalen Suggs. Hopefully he'll focus on one area of the court.
And we have Marjan Beauchamp.
Of those G League players, does anyone have any insight into who's going to be the best?
They're all good. Scoot Henderson is really good.
I've never heard of any of them, to be honest.
I've heard.
Can you imagine being a junior in high school and being like, yeah, I think I'll start my career now.
Get paid right away? Wow.
I would do it. I would take $1 million to go to the G League.
Right.
Is this the future of NBA players, by the way? Is it the G League?
More and more are doing it. Until they get rid of the you have to go to college and you can go straight from high school. I think more and more are going to go to the G League.
Does that contribute to some of this NBA carousel? Like you're in AAU, you go to another team because they have a better player. You go to high school, you're in like 4 high schools throughout your career. You go to college, you're only there for 1 year. You don't have any loyalty. And then when you get to the NBA, you become James Harden.
I mean, that's fair. It's this plausible and like that does happen. I know it used to be traditional. You just played in whatever high school was in your area, and then you went to college, and then you did that. Now it's like every single year these high school athletes are changing high schools and then teaming up in college and then teaming up in the pros. So they want life easy.
Bastards. We need to give – I can't believe I'm saying this. I feel bad for the owners of NBA teams.
Nah, they're billionaires. We shouldn't feel bad for them.
Oh, my God. Meanwhile, dude, Philly – see, this is the reason, Charlie. Milwaukee is losing to Philly right now without James Harden. It's like, this is why I don't believe in this team.
It's Milwaukee or Philly?
Milwaukee's losing 64-78 to Philly right now.
It's early.
It's just a regular season game in February. Like, yeah, they hold some weight, but
it's early in the game and it's early in the season. That's why I'm like,
I guess.
Well,
the Bulls are taking all their games seriously. That's why they're on a 5-game winning streak. All right. 2021 dunk contest. Well, do you want to do 3-point contest? I want predictions.
For the 3-point?
3-point. Let's go 3-point.
Devin Booker.
Okay.
Booker's in it again?
I'm going with hometown hero. Is he still playing though? Zach LaVine?
He said that he wants to participate in it.
But he was hurt.
Yeah. I saw that he said though that he still wants to participate.
All right. No practice, injured Zach LaVine. Let's go. No. I want to go with my boy Fred VanVleet. He's my pick to win.
What were the other options again?
It's Desmond Bain, Luke Kennard, LaVine, McCollum, Patty Mills, Towns, VanVleet, Trae Young. Oh, wait. Devin Booker's not in it?
No, you're taking the guy who's not even in it.
Oh, then I'll take Trae Young. I'll take Trae Young.
That's mine. You got to take Luke.
I
swear Young ain't gonna
win. I swear I thought Devin Booker was
Steph Curry ain't in it?
No, he won it last year.
I'll take the Aussie. I'll take Patty Mills.
Okay. And I'll take VanVleet.
That's fair.
Who you got? You can't pick Devin Booker, dude.
I went with Trae Young.
Oh, okay.
That's what I'm going with. I swear I thought Devin Booker
was a tough pick.
I mean,
Devin Booker, he's in street clothes, but he's taking shots.
Him in street clothes would probably beat the rest of
them. Luke Kennard, dark horse. I kind of like him.
Why is he even he's just there for All-Star Weekend to be in one event and then leave?
Probably. There's probably no Clippers All-Star, so they're like, gotta get them involved somehow. I don't know.
That's fair.
Clippers are pretty good.
Yeah, but they just don't have like that. They're just a team, like good team. They're well coached.
All right.
Tyronn Lue,
Here's a question.
maybe
Here's a
coached.
question. Do you think Paul George is an excellent defender like Charlie does?
Yeah.
Oh, come on.
I think no, like I thought Paul George was like, I don't want to say he's on Kawhi's level, but
Oh my God.
I didn't say he's on Kawhi's level because Kawhi is the number one defender, like him and Giannis, like wing defenders, but I would put Paul George right behind him.
That's insane.
Cue it up, Barry.
He's
Cue it right now. You have to play it. You have to play.
I don't know where it is. I'm playing Jackson Mahomes. No, I'm kidding.
I told you I was going to embarrass you, Barry.
He's a really good defender. He
is. That's what I've been saying. He's like
6'10", 7-something wingspan, athletic.
I don't think he's very good.
He almost won Defensive Player of the Year just like 3 years ago too. And he's just like, nah, he's not.
I remember when they were touting his defense, and then he went against LeBron in the playoffs, and then it was like nothing.
Because LeBron's
That's
LeBron.
No, LeBron shies away from big moments. He should have been able to lock him down.
Damn, Luka has 47, 8, and 13 right now.
Dude, this Philly-Milwaukee game is really good. It's a 10-point game.
I know. We should end the stream so I can watch it.
We should end the stream. All right, what else do I have? Oh, slam dunk competition. Let's watch my boy Jalen Green, and then I'll tell you what. I really like Juan Toscana too. Let's watch two amazing dunks.
Bit of an off arm from Schroeder.
Into the lane, driving kick. Smart, short. Tate. The outlet to Green. Look at
Oh my gosh! Oh, did he kiss the rim? Was he looking in the rim? I mean, Jason.
And out of bounds. Spectacular hustle by Williams.
You want to throw that up and let Christian just go get it. But excellent hustle.
And then let's watch my boy Juan Toscana.
Steph back in. Near disaster a couple times, but still no turnover. Shot clock at 5.
Questioning himself. He may have just ended his life as he knows. The crowd is still buzzing. What did we just see?
Key to stapling a shot blocker to the ground is get into him.
Well, the thing was, his defender fell down, and he was first one to get up. So he's like, I'm just going to.
He ended his life. Yeah, who got the dunk contest? Yeah, on my boy JaVale. I got Jalen Green, but I like the dark horse Cole Anthony too. You know how I like my Magic players.
That's who I'm going with, Cole Anthony.
Oh, are you really?
Yeah, like his high school mixtapes, he would be throwing around crazy dunks, and I know that was a couple years ago, and I'm just assuming maybe he has something up his sleeve. I like Jalen Green too. Yeah, that's it, up his sleeve. I like Jalen Green, but a lot of his dunks are just like vicious. Like he just throws it down. I don't know if
he's got
does
hops,
like a
dude.
three.
He's got hops.
Yeah. I'm gonna go with.
By the way, where is Ja Morant?
He didn't want to do it. He would have won it, but he didn't want to do it. It's
so lame.
I will say I don't know if it's a hot take.
I would force him to do it. I would say you're doing it.
I like the 3-point contest more than I do the dunk contest. I think the dunk contest is very overrated.
Yeah. I agree. Well, the last good one was the Aaron Gordon, Zach LaVine one.
Aaron Gordon got robbed, but that's a conversation for another day.
Yeah. Well, I always say dunking is much like pizza, even when it's not great. It's pretty good. Pretty good. In the All-Star game, any surprises you see? Because I got one. I think DeJounte Murray takes this as an opportunity to be like, I'm fucking amazing, and now I'm going to show you that in on the world stage.
But he's going to play well, but he's not going to see that many minutes. They always put the starters in to play like the last quarter.
He'll take his opportunity. He'll do something that you're talking about afterwards.
I think Giannis always plays well in the All-Star game because it's just running up and down and dunking and doing all that. So
you got Team LeBron?
Yeah, I mean, Kevin Durant's team is there. I don't know how he even drafted his team, but LeBron's team is better.
I got Rudy Gobert hitting a 3. That's my only prediction.
Is that in a prop bet? I'd like to take that. Dude, 83. By the way, 76ers are up 83-76 right now. And the fan just made a half-court shot. I like watching these games on the Stream East because you get to watch like all the local shit that happens.
Yeah.
Like watching the Bulls, like they had a whole little halftime performance where they're doing an operation game. You just don't get that on the national broadcast.
The Lovables.
The Lovables, dude, are hot. Kodak Black, fuck your white wife. Speaking of the Bulls, do you should we schedule our next game right now? Right here. Right now. Right here. Right now.
The Bulls? Let me take a look at their schedule.
Now, Charlie, you got it. You got the 2 games.
Yeah, there's 2 games. One's a little pricey. Memphis. Memphis comes on Saturday, right?
February 26th.
And then the other one, last game of the season, Battle of the Ball Brothers, Charlotte.
Oh.
April 2nd.
And that game's cheaper.
LaMelo.
April 2nd.
Yeah, I mean, seeing LaMelo, that would be fire.
But so would Ja.
Yeah.
And the thing about Memphis is they got Gonzaga players. So that's
on it. Yeah, I mean, either is fine. I don't mind, but I think seeing LaMelo would be tough.
You want to come watch the All-Star festivities with us?
That's on Saturday?
Yeah.
We're watching the celeb game, and we're
that's on Friday.
We're doing both.
We're tossing a hundo down on that celebrity.
Yeah, I'm trying to watch the Cleveland Mayor tear his ACL, dude.
We can decide. We can pick tickets this weekend, but
yeah.
For all you loyal listeners in the comments below, Memphis or Charlotte?
Memphisy.
Who do we see?
Yeah, let us know.
That's it. That's all I got. Yeah, I mean, let us. Monty. More than welcome. Or we could go out to a bar.
Yeah, I'm down.
You can watch it here.
I'd be down to go out in Wrigley and watch if they play it somewhere. It'd be dope if they had it at that dueling piano bar.
Sluggers?
Yeah, or anywhere near you too, Monty. That would work.
Yeah, I mean, I'm
close
or
back at the crib.
Could go up to Milwaukee. We could go to Cleveland. We could fly to Cleveland this weekend. Watch.
I'm not going to Cleveland. I don't think I'll ever go to Cleveland.
We could seat snake them. Could start up.
Where's the All-Star festivities on your all-time list of sporting events to go to?
I don't think I would want to go to them.
Really?
No.
You wouldn't want to go to Saturday night?
No.
I mean, they're cool, but I mean, if it's for free, yeah. I mean, I personally wouldn't spend money to go see All-Star Weekend.
Interesting.
I'd rather see a playoff game, whether it be the first, second, or third round, than go to All-Star Weekend.
Okay. All right. I think this is a solid cast. I mean, we only talked about All-Star Weekend for 20 minutes. Good thing we had that full debate on the Orlando Magic. All right. So, is there anything else I missed here? Nope. I played the one. Toscana. We're good.
Mm-hmm.
Blah, blah, blah. I haven't played this all day, so I'm going to play it right now before Friday night.
I always knew I wasn't going to be gay.
Always knew. All right. So, let's intro and outro Friday night because it's tomorrow night. Thanks for listening, and tune in next week. We'll be reacting to hopefully an epic All-Star game. Actually, I'll be skiing, but I'll bring my computer. I think I can make it. I can make it happen. So Friday night, good night, and take care.
Sing a song, the sound of the
Friday night, I'm thinking that we just might fly away to someplace they don't know who we are. Now I'm riding shotgun in your car. We drive through the city like explorers going 65. Flowing hair flying across your face. We left on Friday, now it's Saturday. Pressed jeans buttoned up, jeans iron slipping up. Red shoes walking slow, headphones blaring 3 stacks. Sunglasses flaring out, thick watch hanging low. Studded belt pulled taut, 3 stacks on the radio. Friday night, I'm thinking that we just might run away to some place we can be who we are. We can be who we are.